ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit, and this was kind of supposed to be a short. I ended up recording this earlier today, but things kind of went wrong. Indeed, the sound didn't get recorded, so that was kind of upsetting. Then went and did a bunch of StarCraft casting, and a bunch of drama happened today as well, so that wasn't too pleasant. But I'm going to talk about that afterwards. So this is going to be I wouldn't say a two-part thing, but it's going to be two things rolled into one. The first thing is going to be giving you a look at some of the new loot items that are available from the new WoW TCG set, Worldbreaker. Yes, indeed. I'm going to be showing you that. And the second part of it is kind of going to be a little bit sort of vlog-ish, I suppose. I'm just going to be flying around. I want to talk about a few things, yeah? I want to talk about the future of the channel, how things are going in regards to various different aspects of it, talk about sort of content distribution and things like that, and what I'll also be doing is having my moderators check out for feedback that you'll be leaving in the comments below. So just try and get a feel as to the sort of situation that the channel's in right now and where we can go from there. God. My apologies, my voice is a little bit wrecked. Been casting for like 5 hours. Anyway, without further ado, let me show you these WoW TCG items from the Worldbreaker set. So, just as a quick primer, the TCG items come from the TCG set, and they are generally rare cards available in booster packs and boxes, yeah? So, in this case, these three items rank in rarity from this one, all the way through to this one, and then to this one. So I'm going to show you all of those, and I'm going to show you exactly what is available in the Worldbreaker set, and if you're interested in going and checking out the TCG, of course, you can go do that. Now, the first thing is this one. This is Landro's Lil XT. Now, you might think, oh, well, this is the same as the one available from the Blizzard store. Almost, but not quite. It has actually been reskinned. This is apparently the Goblin knockoff version, but it essentially does the same thing. So let's go and have a look at it. There you go. That's your Lil XT there. A bit darker colored than the original Blizz Wonderworks version. Again, this is the knockoff, and it does make some sort of steam noises when you click on it. There you go. And of course it will follow you around as you might expect. Nice little bit of animations. Indeed, the animations are just taken from the original anyway. I believe you'll also do a sort of, not so much of a dance, but a stretching thing, but I haven't actually seen him do it yet. Who knows, maybe the knockoff version doesn't. Whatever the case, that's the first item, and that is the least rare of the loot items from Lootbreaker. Wow, what the hell is that? Yes, indeed, folks. My brain is going to hell. I'm recording this live, as you can tell. Whatever the case, yes, Worldbreaker. Now, the next item is the Grim Campfire. Now, I am informed that you can indeed cook on this, but you might not want to. And here's why. There we go. That is one evil-ass looking campfire. Look at that. It's fairly rare, I must say, that I see campfires made out of bones. Generally speaking, bones not the best fuel, in my honest opinion. I'm not going to judge anyone that uses them and conjures the arcane flames of hell its frickin' self in order to warm those around them or indeed cook your piece of meat on, but I'm just saying, it's possibly not optimal. Whatever the case, that is the Grim Campfire. You can indeed cook upon it. I believe it was supposed to actually give a debuff in terms of spirit, but it doesn't seem to do that anymore. Maybe they actually nerfed the Grim Campfire. It's cool nonetheless, folks. It looks like a tiny little Marrogar burning there. Very cute indeed. Sort of gerbil version of Marrogar. Terrifying. Now, the ultimate item tends to be something pretty epic, and indeed this is an epic mount, and it goes by the name of the Mottled Drake, and it's a fairly major reskin of the Bronze Drake, so let's go and have a look at that. There we go. Okay, let's get it somewhere where I can actually see it. There we go. Now, as you'll notice, the Mottled Drake doesn't actually have working eyes. This has just got these sort of green glowy balls instead, covered in God knows what. There you go. Yeah, it's a fairly nice recolor, as you can see. Very unique, something that you don't see an awful lot of. It's actually going to be more unique, I think, in Cataclysm, because a lot of people are now riding the Drake of the West Winds and things like that, and this is the older style Drake, so it's kind of neat nonetheless. I think that that's something that a lot of mount collectors would actually want to get their hands on as a result. Some people might not like the look of it. I kind of do, actually. I think I'll happily fly around on this. Now, those are available from the Worldbreaker set, which is, I believe, out now from Cryptozoic. I might do some WoW TCG content in the future, because I actually, you might not know this, I actually used to cast it. Yes, I did. We had a show back on WoW Radio where we would actually do broadcasts of things like the WoW TCG, and it was quite popular. It did a bunch of tutorials and things like that, so yeah, it was kind of neat. Anyway, this section of the video is just going to be sort of me flying around. I'll do a little bit of vlog, and I want to tell you about a few things. I just want to talk about it. The first thing is the fact that this is an apology for not getting an Azeroth Daily out today. So you might wonder exactly why that is, and every now and again, I think, so over the last 3 weeks, I've maybe missed one every week, and it's turned out to be a number of different reasons. I mean, one week it was because I was celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the site with friends, so I was at the pub, like, all of the evening, so I wasn't able to get everything done. And about a week ago, I hired a researcher, which has really helped matters, but sort of yet to really get into the swing of things. Obviously, having to train him up a bit, make sure he spots the right news, checks the right sites, presents it in the right way, etc., etc. So, yeah, that's been a little bit problematic. And a couple of other weeks I've had problems, like one, I was having health issues, which now, apparently, according to the doctor, I'm pretty much over, and I'm feeling a lot better as a result. So, thanks again for your support on that. I know a lot of people were expressing concern. Chillax, don't worry, I've got it covered. Now, obviously, I hate missing an Azeroth Daily. I really, really do, because to me, Azeroth Daily should be the priority. Yeah? It's the show that gets watched the most on a regular basis, and it's coming to be part of some people's routines, so missing one to me is kind of unacceptable. Trust me, I am probably more annoyed when one gets missed for whatever reason than you guys are. I really, really am. I get horribly pissed off as a result of missing one of those things. And indeed, what needs to be done, really, is the thing needs to actually come out earlier in the day, and that's why I've got this researcher to hopefully provide him with this information. Oh god, my Drake, it cannot fly in there, but there you go. So yeah, trust me guys, I really do know, I feel your disappointment, and I'm disappointed in myself for not being able to bring that to you. Now, what are the things? Well, today's hasn't come out specifically because there was a bunch of drama, and it does need to be addressed to a very small degree. So those of you who follow the StarCraft world might also be aware there's a popular podcast called State of the Game, and 2 of the hosts on there made the mistake of claiming that I'd stopped casting StarCraft 2 entirely. They basically misinterpreted something that I'd said on Twitter, where I said, well, what I'm doing is I'm going to cut back a little bit on the StarCraft 2 that I'm doing, because I want to concentrate on the stuff that the majority of my fan base actually wants. In this case, that's DC Universe, it's the WTF videos, it now apparently is the Dawn of War things as well, and more importantly, it's the WoW stuff. Now, I know quite a lot of you have been disappointed as to a lack of WoW content lately. I know that Azeroth Daily has kept a lot of people happy, and I think it's a really good show in terms of how it's presented, and people seem to like it. Every show gets at least 100,000 views. To me, that's a success. So, what I do want to try and do is start getting more WoW content out, because I do realize that a lot of you are here for WoW content and you subscribed during the beta period. I'm thrilled, and I'm really, really honored that you guys would stick around after the beta, and you have, which is awesome. It really is. I'm so pleased about that, so thank you very much. But I think that there is other content that I could do WoW-wise, like, for instance, videos like this, little shorts. I am occasionally doing the secrets and the Easter egg videos when I get them. There's a few other things that I could look into. I'm thinking of maybe starting a short series on references, yeah? There's so many references within the game. I think a lot of people don't necessarily get them, and they might get a little bit more value out of some of those references if they understand it. Like, for instance, about 5 or 6 Firefly references in the game. I'd love to sort of do a series about that. Now, what I want to do as well is I want to get started off again on the leveling of Volzane. Volzane was the troll shaman, and I did a few leveling videos in Hyjal, and the response wasn't all that great. I think maybe it's because it was very fresh in people's minds. They weren't really all that interested. Whereas the stuff with Volzane, where I'm doing the lower level stuff, a lot of people actually don't roll alts, so they're kind of interested in seeing how things have changed. They don't really want to do it themselves. So I think there's maybe some value with that. So over the next couple of days, I will put out a new episode, and the vote was to go to the Southern Barrens with Volzane, so I will do that. So more WoW content will come in that regard. As regards to StarCraft 2 stuff, I'm going to be more selective with what I choose to do. I think this is what people need to understand, is that, yes, I love doing StarCraft 2, but I also understand that the majority of you don't like StarCraft 2. I'd love it if you did, but I can't force you, and I'm not going to force you. So the StarCraft 2 content that goes on my channel, is all as a result of live casting. So what I need to do is restrict my live casting to 1, maybe 2 events a week. Yeah, and that'll give me enough StarCraft 2 content to put out. I mean, for God's sake, I've got about 40 matches sitting on my hard drive that need to be uploaded and processed and things like that. But whatever the case, I think over the past few weeks I have been putting way too much emphasis on something that the majority of my viewers don't actually like. And you know what that is? That's arrogant. You know, that's me being really arrogant and saying, oh, you know, I'll just do what I want to do. It's like, no, actually, that's not okay. And I think there's a difference between pandering directly to what your viewers are asking you for. So, like, say one of you was being really, really demanding, and it's like, oh, you should do Rift, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do Minecraft, etc., etc. Well, you know, I don't think it's reasonable to pander to that, because, you know, that guy is just one guy, and he might think his opinion's really important, but at the end of the day, he's one of, like, 240,000 people. His opinion matters to him, I'm sure, but it's just 1 out of 240,000. I can't always take that completely seriously. But the line, and indeed where the line is drawn, is when you get to a point where you're dedicating too much time to a series that people don't want to watch. Yeah? That's the major problem. And I think that's really what's actually been happening lately. And I'm not happy with myself for that. You know, I would love you guys to love StarCraft 2 as much as I do, but it's not fair to force it on you. Yeah, so it comes down to spending my time in a way that actually makes sense to my viewers. So yeah, more WoW content over the next few weeks. I can promise there will be more WoW content. Azeroth Daily will continue to come out. Now that I've got a researcher helping me out, I'm hoping it comes out earlier, because I realize that it's a pain in the ass for those in Europe if it comes out so late. You know, I sleep on an EST schedule, and I do that because of, you know, my family situation, but honestly, that shouldn't be your problem. That is something I should deal with, and that's my fault, and I accept full responsibility for that problem. So aside from that, what else is going to be coming WoW content-wise? You know, the whole Rage Leader thing, the problem with Rage Leader is that I really need to be 85, and people keep asking, why not 85? It's just time. It really is just time. I just haven't been able to dedicate the time to actually leveling up. I've been focusing so much on video content and all sorts of stuff. A lot of things go on behind the scenes that you don't actually see as well. You know, I have to spend a lot of time negotiating with games companies to bring you these exclusives and to bring you the coverage that I want to. And obviously there's things with the Game Station as well, and there's a lot of cool things that should be happening over the next few months with them that I've been wanting to be involved in. So, Rage Leader is on the back burner. Wipeathon 3000, again, is also on the back burner as a direct result of not being able to actually raid anything. It's kind of a shame, because Trollface is on their 3rd heroic raid boss. You know, they're actually doing really, really well. I'm really proud of how they're actually progressing through the raid content. They've cleared all the normal, they've cleared 2 heroic bosses, which is awesome. Really happy about that. I would love to get involved, I just can't right now. However, what I can do is I can bring you more raid content, whether or not it be PvE sports or whether or not it just be straight guides, because I do have a lot of footage from the 8 boys who have given me all sorts of things that I could potentially cast. There's a few issues with encoding. They've actually sent it over in a so-called MKV format. Pain in the ass to edit that stuff, I tell you for a fact. But whatever the case, I will endeavor to try and get some more WoW stuff up on the channel, because obviously people care about it, and that's why a lot of people came initially. And that's why quite a few of them stayed. And I don't think Azeroth Daily is enough in terms of WoW content. So yeah, there you go. There's a bit of heart pouring out there. I feel like I have to apologize for letting you guys down. You know, I've got moderators now that are dealing with the comments, because eventually it came to the point where I'm sort of kind of thankful for the stress-related illness, because it gave me this realization that I was wasting too much time engaging with trolls and stuff like that. And I know some of you found it entertaining, but I just think that time could be better spent elsewhere. And yeah, I think it did rub some people out of the wrong way, and I don't think they were necessarily wrong to take it that way, and find it uber offensive and things like that. And, you know, personally, I don't think they should find it uber offensive, but they did anyway. So, yeah. I'm happy to be able to dedicate more time that way. Your feedback does get read. My moderation team sends it over. There is a lot of very good feedback being given. I think that things have now calmed down, maybe, that I'm not engaging myself so much with it. It's such a shame. I view it as a personal fault, but at the same time, I like engaging with people, even if it's sometimes in a negative way. I hate feeling like other people fight my own battles for me. I hate that. I like to get in there in the thick of it and sort of get in the trenches a bit, and maybe that's inappropriate. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. It is confusing. Something I need to figure out. Whatever the case, folks, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. I am hopefully going to be bringing you... This is kind of neat.
Warning.
Oh, God, I'm being shot at. Go away. Go away. Thank you.
Warning.
No, no, no. Leave me alone. Anyway, as I was saying, I should be bringing you some cool exclusive Magicka stuff. I'm actually going over to Sweden in mid-March to go directly to the developers. Arrowhead have flown me over there, and we're going to go and do some developer commentary stuff. It's going to all be available on this channel, so you're going to get a massive insight into the game. And I do have a planned collab multiplayer set of videos coming out, hopefully, for Magicka. Because, hey, the initial Magicka video was mega popular, it was crazy popular, so obviously there's interest there. Aside from that, more W2F content is coming, certainly. And there's more coverage of games that are coming out in the next few weeks. I'm looking to do a little bit with Dragon Age 2. Looking to have a look at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if I can get my goddamn capture card to work. And also at Crysis 2. Some really cool games that I'm personally looking forward to getting involved in. And obviously the Dawn of War 2 content will continue to come along. And I'm looking to bring you some more procasts, as well as show you some of the other races that are available. I know I've been very Chaos-centric lately for the Dark Gods and all that good stuff. I think that pretty much covers it, really. I think that's all I really want to talk about today. And I know I don't really do vlogs as such. I think they're kind of pointless, but I'm just hoping that you guys sort of got a little bit of value out of that and realized exactly what it is that I'm trying to do at the moment in terms of pushing the channel forward. We're about to hit our 250,000 subscriber mark, and I will try and plan something special for you guys for that point. I know I didn't do anything on 200k, and I probably should have, but I actually had some plans for that, and it just never worked out the way that I hoped. So, whatever the case, thanks a lot for listening, guys. If indeed you still are, and if you're not, then I don't really care anyway, because you're not hearing what I'm saying right now. But that's what's going to happen, and that should hopefully set the record straight on a number of different matters. My name's been TotalBiscuit, and this is the mottled drake that I'm calling Alfie, folks, wagging his little tail right here. Oh, look, I should make my way to Grimbertold. How far did I go, anyway? Where am I right now? Holy crap, look at that! I've flown around half of the frickin' Eastern Kingdoms talking to you right now. That's great stuff. Okay, folks, my name's been TotalBiscuit. Thank you ever so much for watching. As always, you are fantastic. I will see you next time.